What's going on, everybody? Today, I love doing these videos, by the way, but what I love most about doing these videos is I never know what I'm going to say, especially right before I put the camera on. So I just allow it to flow, and I just allow myself to get out of the way and just allow the message to flow through me. But today, what came to me right before I hit the camera, right before I hit the play button, was the idea that letting it out doesn't mean letting it go. I say that again. Letting it out doesn't mean letting it go. Now, what the hell does that mean? A lot of times I get in trouble. I get in a lot of trouble for saying this. But one of the things I usually say is that you shouldn't be expressing your emotions. And people get really, really angry. They say, what do you mean I shouldn't be expressing my emotions? I need to speak my truth. I need to tell people how I'm feeling. I need to let people know. I need to set my boundaries. This is all true, by the way. But the question I have for you, it's a very important question, is when you express your feelings, are you doing the expressing or is the feeling? I'll ask you again. Are you doing the expressing or is the feeling? You see, what people don't realize, and this is my belief, so this doesn't mean it's a fact, but you have to admit this is the most expressed generation of our lives, of our timeline ever. Everybody has a social media, everybody's writing on Twitter, everybody's posting on Instagram, everybody's posting on Facebook how they feel about the election, how they feel about this politician, how they feel about this guy. We're all expressing ourselves. People are going to protests, talking, people are doing all of this stuff. But why aren't we getting better? Why are we the most anxious generation? And when I say us, I'm talking about particularly millennials, because I'm about the age of a millennial, I'm 35. What's all this expressing doing? Why are we consistently getting worse? In the United States alone, we spend a lot of money on mental health. And we talk about mental health a lot, but for some reason, numbers are just going up. We're getting worse and worse and worse. There's more and more, quote, crazy people out there. More and more people are, doing things to themselves that are harmful. But we're expressing ourselves. And what I would argue is that as opposed to expressing your feelings, you should be experiencing your feelings. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because recently I had a comment, and sometimes I don't really know how to respond to these comments. People say, hey, I did your stretch routine. And as I was doing the stretch routine, this anger came up in me, and I just started to scream. And I just started to let it out. All the years of frustration. And then afterwards, I felt amazing. And what I would say to that is, yeah, you feel better. But in my opinion, this is my opinion, expression of feelings is a form of suppressing feelings. What do I mean by that? When you have that anger and you start to throw that little tantrum and you express it and you throw yourself around, what you're doing is basically saying, I can't handle the feeling, so I need to do something to let it out. And what you're doing now is creating a feedback loop to the point where the more and more you do this, the easier and easier it is for that feeling to come up and to take over. And you see it all the time. You ever notice people that protest, they go to the protests, and then afterwards they feel like they made a change, but it seems like it's easier and easier for them to get triggered. Like people that get bothered by these little things, they weren't always like that. It's more so that they started expressing what was bothering them. They developed these preferences. They try to control reality. They try to manipulate reality the way it's supposed to, the way they want it to be. And then they throw a tantrum when it's not the way they want it to be. That's not what life is about. What you should be doing is experiencing life as it is. And as you experience life, and as you listen to life, you'll know the right thing to do. I often say when you express a feeling, such as something like anger, when you express anger, right? The only reason why you express an anger is so you don't have to feel the anger. Now, most people will say, no, I'm expressing the anger because I'm feeling it. No. I would argue, yes, you're expressing the anger because you're feeling it, but you can't handle the anger. You're not allowing yourself to experience the anger fully. So you have to do something to make yourself feel better, because after you're done screaming and doing these things, or telling people how it is, or speaking your truth, what you believe your truth is, you feel better. But again, what I'm arguing here, and it doesn't mean I'm right, but this is from experience of paying attention to people, and particularly paying attention to myself. What's going on there, the more you do that, the more you express a feeling, the more easier it is for that feeling to take over. And if it's anger in particular, you'll find that more and more things anger you. Things that used to bother you, all of a sudden start to bother you. Because you're training yourself that every time you experience anger, it's okay for you to act that way. So, what, in my opinion, should you be doing instead? When the feeling comes up, you start to experience something like shame, grief, whatever, anger. First question is, how do you know? And by now, if you've been following my page, you should know, like, I experience it in the body. Then, once you experience it in the body, once you become aware of it, what you should be doing is accept that it's there and experience it fully. Sit with it. Watch it. Now, you could experience something without getting all caught up in it. Now, what do I mean by this? It's like watching a movie. You ever watch a movie and the movie makes you angry? And you're not, when you leave, you're not leaving angry. You're just like, oh my God, the movie made me angry. But you're experiencing it in a way where you feel detached from it. See, a lot of times what we think is that the experience itself is what's causing the anger. What I would argue is that you already have anger in you. You have things built up inside of you. You're not okay. You're not okay. And guess what? All of us aren't okay. We all have a preferred way for reality to be. And that's what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to fight with reality, make reality the way we want it to be. Unfortunately, that's never going to happen. Life is not supposed to happen the way you want it to happen. I'll say that again. Life is not supposed to happen the way you want it to happen. Like, you're one of 8 billion people. On top of that, there's a big universe. Things are going on all the time. The question is, are you paying attention to it? Or are you busy fighting with reality, trying to make it the way you want it to be? Now, that being said, you can control your internal reality. But how do you do that? What you got to do is learn to get rid of that stuff that's inside of us. These impressions, these preferences, our likes and our dislikes. If you pay attention to that voice in your head, all we're ever trying to do is get what we want and avoid what we don't want. That's it. Because we believe if we get what we want, it will make us happy. It will make us feel good. And if we avoid what we don't want, it would make us happy. That's all we're doing. Every decision you make is based off those two things. Every thought you have, you're just thinking of ways to make yourself happy, make yourself feel good, make yourself feel better. But it's the search of making yourself feel better. Always trying to make yourself feel better is what's actually making you worse. Which is why when you go and express your feelings, like recently I saw something, I actually have a person I went to a seminar with not too long, it was about maybe 6 years ago. I saw he posted something about, like, it was like an event where you could go and you could, like, basically vent out your feelings. and scream. And it was basically a picture of Elon Musk at the time and Donald Trump, because I live in New York, so it's very, more so a Democrat state, to where people don't really like Trump and Elon, what he's doing. And the idea was to bring all these people together so you could scream and vent out. And, they even have these rooms in the city where you could smash things. And guess what? You do feel good. When you're done doing all of that, you do actually feel better. But it's the search of actually feeling better, which is what's making you worse, because after they get done doing that, they think that's okay. You start to train your nervous system to believe that that's okay. I could act like that. And that's why you see people now. I remember it was like a month or two ago, people were like burning up Teslas and throwing rocks and justifying it. It's okay, because I feel that way. I have to express myself. I could do that. And like, because people have a difference in opinion from you, that doesn't mean it's okay for you to do that. And just because you feel a certain way, that's you. That's the personal. What you're trying to do is manipulate reality to make it the way you want it to be. But reality is never going to be the way you want it to be. And even if you get it the way you want it to be, it's not going to stay that way long. And now, when you get reality the way you want it to be, now you're afraid. Because you end up clinging to reality, holding it real tight. And you're scared it's going to go away. Like, I remember a few years ago, I was having problems with my girlfriend, and I thought we were going to break up. And because I was afraid of her leaving me, I started trying to do these things to, like, control every situation. And the more I tried to control the situation, the more she looked at me with disgust, with the ick factor, like, ugh, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Well, that's what we all are doing with reality. We're trying to make reality the way we want it to be. So going back to the original point, letting it out doesn't mean letting it go. You should be experiencing your feelings. Experiencing your feelings. And that means you could do it just by sitting here. Like right now, I could be annoyed with the ambulance messing up the video. Right? Now, if I'm annoyed, I'm not really annoyed, but let's say I was, the ambulance, it's messing up my video. God, don't you know? Why do people not know I'm making a video right now? This is the most important thing in the world. People should stop and let me make my video. Right? Is that appropriate? No. But let's say it does agitate me, that the ambulance passed by and is messing up the video. Well, how do I know? Well, maybe I'll clench my jaw. My neck gets a little tight. Can I handle that? And the answer should always be yes. Can you handle reality? When things are going on and unfolding, because the world's always unfolding, according to who? Not you. I want you to know you're not the creator, whether you believe in God or the universe. Like that should literally be the name of God. Like, not me. You know you're not creating reality. And, there's a lot of people out there that believe, your thoughts create your reality. And I understand that to some degree. But if you really, really think you're, creating reality, manifesting reality the way you want it to be, it's not going to happen. And if you could be okay with that, and if you could just learn to pay attention to what's going on with you inside, and pay attention to what's going on outside, life gets really, really good. It actually becomes fun. So remember, letting it out doesn't mean letting it go. You want to let it go, you have to experience your emotions fully and allow them to do what it is they want to do. Don't get entangled with it. And if you continuously do that, eventually they just pass through. And I promise you, you have so much more energy. Life feels good. You feel like you're in bliss. You literally create heaven on earth. Now, I'm not there completely, but I would say maybe out of a 16-hour day, if I'm up, there's like 3 or 4 hours where I feel amazing. I feel really good because I'm allowing reality to be the way it is. So that's my talk for today. I only got 15 seconds before Instagram cuts me off. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Please leave comments. If you made it this far, give me feedback. Let me know what you think. Until next time. Peace.